Good morning, welcome to Bridlington on Saturday the 16th of March 2024. For once the tide is in, the sun is shining and there's no wind, just a slight breeze. Amazing. You can see the fresh water here pouring into the into Bridlington Harbour from the Gypsy Race River. That seagull, almost tempting to think it's the same bird that you've seen on the last trip. Wonder how territorial they are. Of course it can't be. You know, things in life change. If you really want to know what it felt like being 17 and being 75, if you come to Bridlington, if you've been here in earlier years, and you look straight out there, it's as though, you know, it's as though you're 17 again. Because nothing's changed visibly. Nothing that can be noticed anyway. I look at that and I feel as though I've got a motorcycle still parked behind me, and it's 1967 and I could just sort of get on the bike and ride off. Beautiful Bridlington. Air temperature 7C, water temperature 3C. Just imagine plunging in there and it's 3C. We'll definitely give that a miss today. So the speedboat's going to be active. The pirate ship is already active. No sign of the Yorkshire Belle yet. That's it, in case you were wondering. The great wind turbines of the Yorkshire Coast standing idle today because there isn't any wind. There is solar, of course, rather weak solar, but last night when there was no wind and no solar, everything, all the power generation was by gas and a little bit of nuclear and perhaps some imported electricity from the continent. And in case you're wondering what's sort of happening on the news at this point in time, if you're watching this video say 20 years into the future, couple of days ago, the government announced that it would be necessary to commission more gas-powered power stations because for electricity generation, wind and solar wouldn't be enough, because at times there was no wind and no sun. Amazing really, isn't it, that that just seems to have been realised, or at least presented. There we have the typical flatfish at this time of year, too small to keep and thrown back in quite rightly.
Tide's on the ebb at the moment, and it doesn't fish the ebb as well as it fishes the flood, so there is something on. It's a very long line out as well. Well, I can think, well, the rod does all the work. Oh, yeah, you got a fish. Hey, Indian.
Yeah, is that one?
No, there's two on there.
Two? Oh, right. Okay. Oh, they're little ones there.
They're a waste of bait.
That's being graded in.
I don't know, they're a waste of bait.
I went deep sea fishing from here once, and we were catching some of those.
Just take them off the hook.
Just found out from that gentleman how, you know, I mentioned in an earlier video how the pier was closed off and wondered why. And there was a really high 6.6 metre high tide, and the waves were so high they were washing straight over the end of this pier. If anybody had been on it, they'd have been washed off. Now he advised me, I've always seen this safety rope here, steel rope. If anybody has to come down to the end of the pier in winter, they would wear a safety harness and a carabiner and clip it onto that and walk along. It just shows you how bad things can be, and also how you haven't actually seen anything everything if you're like me, you're just coming here as a tourist. So apparently that happened the previous Sunday, and we were here on the Monday, I think. And that's why there was seaweed all over the pier here, and why it was sort of closed off at the end there. Anything else going on at this point in time for posterity perhaps? Well, you know, I filmed all these videos with a succession of iPhones, but sort of tempted by Android phones for the functionality of having a split screen, and also being able to edit videos in the background without having to have it on the main screen. Anyway, sort of the big shopping centre at Manchester, the Trafford Centre yesterday, and they've got a Samsung stall in there, and I went in, sort of tried one of the new Samsung S24 Ultras, and it hasn't got Face ID that's as secure as on the iPhone, but it has got a great fingerprint scanner. Try the fingerprint scanner, can't get it to work, and guess what? My fingerprints have worn off. Right, no fingerprints, I can't even register one. Whether that's due to age or not, I don't know. But more or less zero fingerprint. Can't use airport scanners either for that reason. They've mostly gone over to face recognition now, haven't they? So that rules out doing any filming with a Samsung anyway. At least it puts that question to bed. If anybody had said to me about 60 years ago, Mike, when you're 75 you'll have full mental capabilities and you'll be fit physically, but sorry mate, you won't have any fingerprints, so you can't buy a Samsung, I would have laughed my head off. And to think in the past century, people have paid criminals, master criminals have paid a fortune to have their fingerprints very painfully removed. I could have been a master criminal if I was projected back 100 years. No fingerprints. Oh, here's something leaving the harbour. We watch Sean's pirate ship head out into the bay. It's goodbye again from Bridlington. I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care now. Goodbye.